All right. First item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Seeing as there's none, we'll move on to the next, which is the approval of the meeting minutes from the May 28th meeting, which are attached.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of May 28th, 2013.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sampson. Any discussions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? To vote. Project budget and expenditure tracking. I believe that's Paul's item here. Get us started for what are we going to be seeing monthly now for
Right.
the project?
I've actually started creating a spreadsheet that will help us track the entire process from the architectural, the OPM, the contractor, all the subs, everything that you saw on that original 3011. I'm setting it up to go and coincide with the ProPay system that MSBA uses to reimburse for the work that goes on your project. In that process, I've already created some of it. Mark has reviewed some of it. We're making a few more changes. I'll be happy with probably tomorrow, Thursday, be happy to mail it out to everyone just so you can get a look. And then I'm going to start populating it with all the costs, from costs that's already been incurred during the first phase that we've gone through and going forward. The next topic is the CM at Risk volunteer approvals. Just so everyone knows, we have finished the construction management at risk application to be going to the IG's office. This is one copy. So if anyone would like to take a look at it, this is what I've been working on for the past week or so, and it is complete, and we will be submitting it to them this week. With this application, we discussed at the last meeting that we're going to need approximately 3 volunteers to help in this process. Go ahead, Mark, with
5.
Well, 3 volunteers. You're going to have a volunteer that's from the OPM and then also from the LPA, which will make up 5 total. We can have 5, which would total to 7 with the 2 that's required to be on the panel. That's up to you. Again, as we discussed, it's going to be a little bit of work. It's going to be a lot of reading. You'll go through the process of all the requests or the qualifications that come in from the construction managers. You'll help narrow, whether it's 12, 15, 20 of them, down to 3. Once we narrow it down to 3, we'll come back to the school building committee for everyone to go through the process of interviewing them and selecting the construction manager. Thank you. With that said, we have volunteers who would like to be a part of this process.
Well, I know 2 people that aren't here that couldn't make the meeting. I know Randy Gabry and Jim Bonifiglio said they'd like to put their names into the hat. I don't know who else. Is Joe?
And I'm sorry, you said Jim, Joe, and I didn't get the first name.
Randy Gabry.
Do you need a motion to that, or you want to accept?
It's a subcommittee, just need volunteers. You can go through and approve them if you'd like them to represent them. And ultimately, we'll be coming back with 3 for the entire school building committee to go through the interviews.
3 CM candidates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So right now we have 3. If we have 3, if we're going to have any more, I need at least 2 more. If we had an odd number.
I'll always throw myself in there, but I don't know if anybody else is willing to go in on it.
I'll throw in too.
Huh? Okay. Joe Fahey, myself.
I've already started the request for qualifications, what's going to be required to be submitted by the construction managers, the advertisements, how we have this whole process that we're going to have to go through. Once I've completed that, I will mail it out, email it out to everyone that's now a volunteer, and we'll go ahead and start setting up those meetings and starting this process.
You're submitting the application to the IG's office. Can we continue forward with it, even though
we should be able to. When I go, I know the lady who actually reviews these, so I'll sit down with her and talk to her and ask her what she's looking at in the turnaround period, and that'll help us to better define what our schedule is going to look like.
What do,
Mr. Chairman, if I
Sure.
may. What are they looking for when you submit this to the IG's office?
They're looking for history of the project, funding of the project, the people who are participating in the project, what their experiences are. They're looking for contractual requirements for the OPM, for the architect, for the construction manager. They're looking to understand that we understand what the process is, the legal process of going and doing RFQs, how you go through that process and making the selections legally. They want to make sure that we understand that. And you're happy, I did bring a copy if anyone would like to take a look at it, or even have reading material tonight. I'm more than happy to see this.
Thank you.
what's the approximate time schedule for going out the RFQs now? And
Yep. There are requirements where we have to advertise for a minimum of 2 weeks. Turnaround time for them to create and submit their RFQs, we're probably looking at having the construction manager on board some point in August. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes,
does that
Joe.
include your ability to be that CM?
My ability to be, no,
no,
no, conflict of interest. Kansas
Right.
does not have the ability.
because of the OPM, they can't.
Okay. So you're out of here shortly, huh? Why not?
With us being the owner project manager, we could not oversee our own company doing the construction. Be a conflict of interest.
Okay.
I think there's I already started hearing a lot of interest out there anyway, so
Yes.
I think we're gonna have, we're gonna be pretty well covered for CM coverage and stuff, so.
I think we're going to have more than enough. It's going to be a lot of work to have going. So. Next would be the project management team volunteers. This is the same thing, the group that you all had set up for the high school. You would get together 1 to 2 times a month, reviewing problems, reviewing pay applications, going through, making decisions, and then ultimately bringing it back to the school building committee for final approvals. And Mark had touched a little bit on this on our last meeting.
Volunteers? Joe? Bob Murray? Bill Western? Bob Grossman, okay. And Mike, right?
Yes, sir. Joe's in on it.
How many people are going to be on this committee?
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually 5. I think that's what we had on the high school committee. Worked pretty well. Okay. Any other issues? Anybody, any problems with that? Nope. Okay, I guess we have our committee for that until such time somebody needs to change or whatever, so we'll move on from here. Project update, next slide.
Yes, the fun part. We are, Skanska and LPA is moving ahead with our work that we can independently do at this time. Again, doing the construction management at risk. We have had a small hiccup, if you want to call it, because of the land transfer and having to get that under contract. Right now, Auburn is not able to execute Skanska's contract nor LPA's contract, which is preventing us from going out and hiring a lot of the sub-consultants. So that is causing a slight delay on going forward with the sub-consultants and getting people out on site to start the testing and starting the land approval process that we need to go through. We're looking at approximately, if this goes through in beginning of July, it's going to be around a 5-week delay. The schedule right now is linear, so anything that happens at this point affects us down the road. We don't know the total impact of what it's going to be. Once the contracts go through, we will be able to determine and update the schedule accordingly. But this is something that has, that we're working through and still pushing forward with.
It's a funding mechanism that we kind of ran into with the land acquisition and bond council and stuff. They bond council wants us to have the land in hand before we execute the amendments going forward. That can't happen until after the 1st of July because of the town meeting vote. The way, even though it's coming out of stabilization fund, the way it was just it was in FY2 2014 fiscal year, so you have to wait until after July 1st to execute that. So we kind of got ourselves into a little holding pattern because of it. LPA and Skanska are continuing to work with their own forces. We've had a couple meetings and they are, said that their own people are still working on it. It's just their sub-consultants, mostly LPA's, structural engineer, site engineers, all those are on hold at the moment because they can't commit. So we'll have to keep evaluating, and hopefully we can keep the end date still the same for August move-in of 2015.
And again, we don't know the impact at this time until the contracts are actually executed, which gives us the legal mechanism to get the other sub-consultants on. We won't know. So once we do have that information, we'll start updating the schedule and showing what the impacts are, what we can and cannot do as the project progresses.
That was kind of the two items together.
Yeah.
The short-term look ahead, I don't know what, there's nothing much on the horizon at the moment until we get the amendments in place to
Correct.
really say the year. Status of land transfer, Mary Ellen, have you had any further with
There's no updates.
Okay. I know they're going back and forth, and I know the Masons were sitting before the planning board, right? For
I believe they'll be going before planning board. They're hoping to on Tuesday, the 25th. And then hopefully within the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 5th of July, we'll be able to move forward.
Okay. All right, so next item on is the approval of invoices. Now, these invoices are for work under the original $600,000 cap, the feasibility and schematic design phase. These are their final invoices coming through that from all their presentations and work with helping us getting the word out there so that it became a positive vote in town. So those invoices are attached in the review, and then take motions to pay these invoices.
Make a motion to approve invoice 1207-1305 to Lamero Pagano for $550.
Second?
Second.
Okay. And any discussions? All right, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? So vote. Skanska invoice, somebody take a motion?
Motion to approve the Skanska invoice number 11823-PDS-11823-15 to Skanska for $2,610.
Also.
Okay. Any discussions? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? So vote. All right. Next item is any other discussions, any concerns, issues people want to bring up? Need to look at, discuss? Okay. I guess so. The next item would be the targeting our next meeting. Given that if all goes well in the first week of July, the target for the 16th, is that good, or do you guys need it earlier than that on the 9th? Or should we push it later? I don't know.
I would recommend the 23rd.
Okay. Tuesday the 23rd?
16, doesn't See how easy it is on you already?
You got the old-fashioned computer.
She said bring the calendar. My calendar. This is gonna be a surprise.
Okay. We go for July 30th. It's a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock here. All right.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you all.